What's that?
Hold on. That is. Oh, it's fine. I'll say it in Italian. Carpaccio di polpo, which is Italian for carpaccio di polpo, or octopus carpaccio. Does it taste?
Yeah.
Got it in Lidl. It's really tasty. Open mind. You like the tentacles?
Yeah.
Well, the first time you've had tentacles in your mouth, is it?
No. It'll be the last.
Where am I?
What you making?
Duck.
With?
Veg and some gravy, and then have a Chianti. Carries.
That's a fancy bottle.
As you said, you're not drinking, so there you go. So, first thing you need is a drink. Never cook sober, because if you burn yourself, you'll feel it. So I have a cold pan, oven proof. I have my oven on at 180 degrees Celsius, non-fan, 160 degrees Celsius if it's a fan. I have a pan or a pot that's empty. I've got 3 potatoes, small waxes cut in half, an onion. For those of you who don't know what an onion is, that's a red onion. You get white onions and green onions and spring onions. I've got some tender stem broccoli and some asparagus. And of course, a fluffy joke. So the first thing you need to do, as you can see, I've been drying this out. I put a bit of Kunsel salt on the skin to help dry it out. And I'm going to get a nice sharp knife and score the skin. Like I say, cold pan. You want to score the skin, but without cutting into the meat. If you wanted to, you could trim the skin. I don't want to, so I'm not going to.
Why is it a cold pan you put it in?
Because you don't want to burn the skin, you want to render the fat out of the skin. Duck's a really fatty meat. So. Oh. So once you've scored the skin of the duck, I'd already salted this, so I don't need to put salt on. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper. Cut it in. Like I say, you could trim the duck, I just can't be bothered. This is supposed to be a quick supper. And flesh side salt it, okay? If you want to put some herbs, such as some thyme, I might as well use this up. You can put that on the flesh side. And pan goes on at a medium heat, so in my case 4. Into there, nice cold pan, and discard this plate. So the next thing you need to do is get your tatties on. I'm sure everybody knows how to cook tatties, so this looks like a big pan for such a small amount of tatties, but we're going to cook the veg in there as well. And cold water. Just enough to cover them. I'm going to put these on full heat to start with until they come up to boil, and some Kunsel salt. Not too much because it'll probably reduce. Lid on, And next stage is just you've got to cut your onion. I've got some bramble jelly that my grandmother had made. I've got some chicken gravy granules. You could use just regular Bisto. But basically, that's all you need to do. Wait until your duck starts to render a little bit more and relax. Oh. Right, so you'll hear that sound. Tatties are just coming to boil. So, as mentioned on Crappy Cooking several times before, water won't go hotter than 100 Celsius unless it's under different conditions. So turn it right down. I've got it to 2 of 6. As you'll see the duck simmering away beautifully. I've still only got my tongs back from my mother's house. Now, it's stuck. That's fine, because you don't want to move it just yet. But see all the fat that's come out of there? Don't worry about that. You're getting rid of it. You can use it for roasting potatoes. Oh. Oh.
You okay?
Oh, duck roasted tatties. Oh. So yeah, just keep an eye on that. Bring them right down to simmer. Make sure they don't collapse. Let this get nice and crispy on the one side. Keep an eye on it. If you feel that you need to turn it down, if you've got a gas hob, for example, you've got a bit more control, feel free to do so. But don't move it about, don't flip it over, just leave it. I'll have more wine. Now, if you're worried about your duck sticking, don't be too worried about it. Now, I've turned it down, but the duck should come away from the pan when it's ready. I know that sounds a bit daft, but you'll see it's not ready to come away. It's not quite got the right colour yet. That's coming away, it's got a better colour. If you want, you can be draining the fat out of it as it cooks. I'm not going to, I maybe will, but at the moment I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it. This hob's at a bit of an angle, so I'm just going to turn the pan so that things cook a bit more even. Again, just relax. That is on a gentle simmer. That's good. Listen to some music. Right. It's been another few minutes and you'll see that the duck's almost coming loose. A nice colour on it. I'm going to take that off because there is quite a lot of fat in there now. By all means, keep that fat. It's great for roasting spuds. And then my turn over. Again, don't mess about with them. Just leave them on. Medium heat, 3 of 6. So perfect medium heat. They'll probably take another 4 or 5 minutes, I would think. At this point you might want to check the tatties to see how they're getting on. You're fine, aye? So they're not quite ready. Let them tick along nicely. Like I say, next thing we'll be doing is sauce. So, the tatties are almost ready, which is good, and the duck is firm. So, although I said an oven-proof pan, I've just realised I'm a gite because I need to make the sauce with the same pan. So, this is an odd thing to do. If the oven's been on, turn it off and put them in. It's just the residual heat. So, you've now got a pan with a small amount of duck fat in it. I could be really pedantic and snap all this asparagus. I'm just going to cut the ends off. Never in a shout what it looks like. And same with the broccoli. Just going to cut the ends ever so slightly.
Why is it better just to snap the ends of the asparagus?
Because that's where it's less woody. Right, so I'm actually going to turn off the heat. If you had gas, you would want to turn it down to like the lowest it could go. If you've got one of these solid top hobs, just turn down the heat and you're just letting your vegetables what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of
steam?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to turn this back up to a slightly higher heat. Slice our onion. You could dice it if you really wanted to. So in case any of you that are watching are, you know, mouth breathers, I did peel the onion first, you know, it doesn't come out the ground like that. So a bit of salt in with the onion, because I've mentioned several times on Crack the Cook before, it will help stop it burning. In with some pepper, a wooden spoon, and you want to, all this pieces that have caught to the pan will be adding flavour to your gravy. And it is just gravy, none of this jus de canard shite. It's flipping duck gravy, good old fashioned duck gravy. Right. Bit of escapee. Sometimes you do get the odd escapee. Apart from the children in my basement, they're securely locked, so don't have to worry about that. The one thing Operation U3 taught me was to be extra vigilant about getting caught. So just gently sort of saute them away. Just keep an eye on this veg. Nice and beautiful green broccoli and asparagus. And I'm going to get a couple of plates out. Terribly plates.
I covered myself.
Did you? Little COVID coming on. And again, plates into the oven just to warm up. The oven is off, you're kind of resting the duck if anything. A bit tired, what? Just keep stirring these onions about. If you want to caramelise them, by all means. I don't want to caramelise my onions. So I'm just going to keep stirring these about for 2-3 minutes.